Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very special day that we have planned for you, this evening rather. And welcome to all the participants of the International Speech Contest as well. I think I see a lot of you coming in during this meeting, and we all wish you, first of all, hearty congratulations from actually going level by level and getting closer to the title. And we wish all of you a warm welcome to this evening session on how to write a speech. And for this session, we have a very special person, and I'm sure that you'll be all enamored by the way that he speaks. He's a world record holder as well. So this is something that you can take home and say, I've literally listened to a world record holder in our Toastmasters International. And to take this meeting forward, I would like to remind you of a few ground rules before we start. Number one, please do mute yourself while entering the meeting. Please remain on mute as well during this entire meeting so that we don't disturb the proceedings of the meeting and you can move smoothly without any hiccups. Moving on, if you have any mobile devices nearby or any disturbances nearby, please do make sure that it is you're on mute first of all, and there is no disturbance from your end. And please do come on video. We would love to see your faces. We would love to meet you all in person, but unfortunately, we are remote as of now, and we would like to see a good audience at our session today. So please do come on video as much as you can. With that being said, let me move on to introduce the man behind the scene who's very instrumental into organizing the session. Now, he's someone who I see as the James Bond of District 121, mainly due to the fact that he is always there whenever you need him, and he's always reliable and someone who's I personally look up to and admire in District 121. So please welcome our program quality director for today, distinguished Toastmaster Narayanan M, to take this meeting forward.
Thank you for the nice words. Our district director, distinguished Toastmaster Vanida Rangarajan, in her absence, she will join within a few minutes, I believe so. Club growth director. Oh,
I'm present.
Oh, thank you. And Club growth director, distinguished Toastmaster Arjun Sundaraj. Our guest speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Kadiravan Pethi, DTM, present and past district officers, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening to one and all. Can everyone mute your audio device?
Within 2 to 3 days,
A humble request, please mute your audio device.
What to start first? Correct.
One or to be demolished.
So, Master. Okay, good. The voice you have heard just before me was of a young Toastmaster who is the sergeant at arms and also the Zoom master of today's event. He's a technical recruiter for Adastra Consultants. He has been in Toastmasters for the last 5 years, and he was the youngest president in DJ's Toastmasters Club. He explained the etiquette to be followed in the Toastmasters meetings in a meticulous manner. It is none other than Toastmaster Cyrus William de Lima. Give a round of applause to him. My dear Toastmasters, when we look back our school or college days, there we can see a few people named backbenchers. Their performance in the examinations was always poor. Did you ever think what was the reason for that? Do you think that IQ of so-called backbenchers was much less than that of the brilliant boys or brilliant girls? No. Still, why did they perform at a lower level? It is just because of the motivation, lack of motivation, lack of guidance, lack of support. The performance mainly depends upon 3 P's: preparation, practice, and present. Needless to say that preparation is the most important thing. Or we can say that it is the foundation. We have many contestants here. We want the best performance from them. How to achieve the best out of them? They have to prepare well. How? The answer is in this event, in this program. When we thought of getting a trainer for this event, for this session, the first name came into our mind was of the best person in this field. But we were apprehensive whether we would get him for this event. But our district director, distinguished Toastmaster Vanitha Rangarajan contacted him. The irony I have been seeing in Toastmasters is that when we are approaching an ordinary Toastmasters just for attending a meeting or just for some support, I have been hearing the answer that they are busy. But when we approach the actually busy person, exuberant, experienced senior Toastmasters for some help, support, or guidance, they will readily agree. Once again, it proved right. Our distinguished Toastmaster Kadiravan Pethi readily agreed to take up the session for our Toastmasters. He's a man of simplicity, humbleness, and wisdom. We are, the District 121 is really lucky to have him with us. With a loud round of applause, let us welcome distinguished Toastmaster Kadiravan Pethi for this event.
Thank you, sir.
He's just like a magician who can transform a charcoal to a diamond. You can see at the end of this event, and you will endorse my statement. I am pretty sure about it. Just now, I don't know whether I have to welcome our district members, our fellow Toastmasters, because we are all in a family. So I welcome each and every one of you who are present in this meeting. To address this gathering, we have the Queen of District 121, who is a synonym of energy, passion, and commitment. I don't want to introduce her because all of you know her more than you know your own sister. Whenever we need any support, any guidance, just she's a phone call or a WhatsApp message away from us. Within a few seconds, she will answer to that. She's always with us, taking care of each and every requirement of us. She never compromised with mediocrity. That's why she insisted that our contestants should be given a proper training so that we can get the best out of them. Actually, it is just because of her initiative, her suggestion, we are conducting this event today. Let us welcome the charming and charismatic lady of District 121, our District Director, distinguished Toastmaster Vanida Rangarajan to address this gathering. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Vanida.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Narayanan. Am I visible and audible? I can see 16 people on video, but I'm told that there are 70. So how about we have some more screens being turned on? I'm saying hi to Chitra, Shruti, Balaji, Anu. Great, fantastic. Thank you for everyone who's joined here today. At a recently conducted area contest, the opening statement of an evaluation contestant was, the purpose of a speech is to change the world. I'm going to say that one more time because that is the very essence of all of us being here. The purpose of a speech is to change the world. I'm pretty sure at this point of the contest season, every single person in the room, except my district officers, of course, because we can't participate in contests, everyone has one speech that you think will change the world. Give me a heart symbol if you feel that the story that you already have in the form of your speech is your story to the world. Give me a heart symbol if you're able to relate to this speech idea at all. Now, in the same area contest, I looked at, I'm not going to give you how old they are in Toastmasters, but fairly old in Toastmasters. Amazing story. But from a speech writing angle, that contestant could not even prepare for a speech properly. The speech was mentored apparently, and she had given her best. But for some reason, that speech did not even meet the basic qualifying criteria of a speech that can be delivered. And then it got me thinking, if we are going to be changing the world with our speeches, there is some more opportunity that we have to refine our speeches. Some more opportunity that we have to just go through a checklist of the basic things that we should have in speech writing. Some more opportunity that we have to do a group mentoring session. Somewhere that all of us can benefit and refine our existing speeches so that we can advance to the next level and have more people listen to that speech of ours to change the world. I remember when I started my division director term, when I started my district leadership term as a division director, we had this exact same situation about a lot of new members not knowing to write speeches. It was this person's name that I was highly recommended by a past international officer saying, you ask Kadri, your job is done. I remember as a wannabe leader in Toastmasters, I did that for Division E members. I understood from that session how grateful the members were for just being able to have access to someone this knowledgeable, someone who's a constant mentor in and out of a session, and someone who has public speaking tips that he can give out even in his sleep. And so distinguished Toastmaster Kadri was the first name that we thought of when an opportunity like this to change the speech contest scene for not one division now, but for 12 divisions, because hey, you know what, we did some upgrade there. Division director became district director, and so there is some opportunity that we have to change lives. So here we are wanting to make an attempt for everyone who's going to be writing a speech, and that is for the contestants or otherwise, to just go through this amazing session, a workshop that we believe will help you put your speech out there in the world and change the world. Are we ready for this challenge? Are we ready for this group initiative? It's not a one person's task. We need to come together as District 121 to be able to make those meaningful speeches, great quality speeches, so that we get more people to listen to us and our stories. I want to wish every single contestant who has participated, not placed, does not matter, because you came here and told us your story. And so thank you so much for making our District 121 contest season so enriching. I also want to wish all the contestants who have made it to the division level or who will make it to the division level, the very best of your stories that you can give to the world. I can't wait to sit at a division meet and listen to your inspiring story. All the very best for this initiative. And thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Narayanan, for literally being the wind beneath my wings and doing everything for District 121 when it comes to quality. An attempt this last minute in the contest season, just so that we can make a difference, is one other example of how you go all the way out to do things for District 121 members. Thank you for taking this up. Distinguished Toastmaster Kadri, I'm waiting to hear and see your magic for District 121 members. Thank you so much, and back to you, Distinguished Toastmaster Narayanan.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Vanitha Rangarajan, for motivating me and also the entire District 121 with your powerful words. To take the meeting forward, we have a soft-spoken but a hard-working lady. She is a dentist by profession and a Toastmaster by passion. A Toastmaster since last 5 years. She finds equal happiness in both sculpting smiles and delivering speeches. She is the Pathways Coordinator for the Mangalore region. Owner of a beautiful smile, she can change lives with her smile itself. With a virtual round of applause, let us welcome the Master of Ceremony of this event, Toastmaster Sapna Ramdas. Sapna, now the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, DTM Narayanan sir. Good evening to all the Toastmasters of District 121. A hearty welcome to all of you. Please note the doubts, the questions that arise need to be put it in the chat box, which I present it to the resource person at the end of the session. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce the resource person, distinguished Toastmaster Kadiravan Pethi, a Guinness World Record holder and the winner of International Speech Contest among 6,500 participants from various countries at Miami, first Indian to achieve this honor. DTM Kadiravan Pethi has been passionately involved in training and coaching for the last 20 years. He's known for his result-oriented, inspiring and practical workshops. He blends a powerful and unique style of inspirational storytelling and sharing real-life challenges. His amazing sense of humor, coupled with his counseling experience, helps him to switch from a very serious perspective to light-hearted situations. His abundant energy and purpose of transforming people helps him build an incredible rapport with the audience. Currently, he is the CEO of a medical device company, Astrid Microsystems, with the dream of providing affordable and ethical healthcare. DTM Kadiravan Pethi featured in Star News, Sri Lankan TV, NDTV, TV9, Indian Express, Radio City, Radio Mirchi, Bangalore Mirror, and Deccan Herald. Listed in the Hall of Fame, Toastmasters California, USA. Honored by Lions Club International for service to humanity. When it comes to Toastmasters, he's member for more than 2 decades, mentored more than 1,000 Toastmasters, started and mentored 15 clubs. Listed again in the Hall of Fame, Toastmasters USA. His major training programs are interpersonal and communication skills, presentation skills and public speaking, conflict management, negotiation skills, break the time barrier, business meetings, the power of goals, and many more. Some of his famous keynote addresses were Forgive and Forget, Coffee on the Wall, Man's Search for Meaning, Tough times never last, but tough people do. Break the communication barrier. He trained many organizations. To name some, Institution of Chartered Accountants, Sri Lanka and India, Sri Lankan Airlines, then Lions and Rotary Clubs, JCs, HDFC Bank, Capgemini Bank, SAF, and many more. Some of the educational institutions he trained are PES Institution, Bishop Cotton High School, MS Ramaya Institute of Management, and then St. Mary's College, Oxford Dental College, Jain Group, and some more. He is also the executive coach for several heads of business executives. Please put your hands together and help me in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Kadiravan M. Pethi. Sir, screen is all yours.
Thank you very much, Ramraj. Actually, I was very embarrassed. The introduction was quite long, and hope the audience are not bored with the long introduction. It is a fabulous introduction. Thank you very much. Let me begin this session with one question for all the contestants. I'd like to keep the session open. You can stop me any time. You can interrupt like a regular classroom. You can make a lot of noise, and you can ask any questions. Is that okay with you? Okay, fine, sir. I think the youngest person, Mr. Milan Kulebkar, he's saying, yes, he's okay, fine. Okay. So the first question I want to ask you is, you can unmute and answer, a couple of people. Why are you taking part in the international speech competition? Yeah, I want you to unmute and answer. Or I can pick up. I think all of you, can I pick up Bhavani? Bhavani, yeah, you can unmute and tell me why we joined the international speech competition. Because Vanitha Rangarajan instigated me, so I'm going to ask you this question. Tell me.
Thank you, Kadri, sir. Unfortunately, I'm a district officer right now. I cannot participate.
Okay.
But I would say that it is one big stage which will give me more learning. So looking forward to be there next year.
Anybody else? Anybody participating in the area? One winner of the area level? Can Paul, you're participating?
I think I want 1 million views on YouTube, sir.
That's good. You're married?
Yes, sir. Recently.
Okay, it could be dangerous. And who else is participating? Shashank? Yeah. What motivates you to participate in the international speech competition? It's a very important question.
Well, to be honest, my reason is that I've always wanted to be a public speaker, because when I was sitting in the audience, I had a lot of stories that I wanted to share. And even after being presented with an opportunity, I couldn't, because I was scared. And I think going that one extra distance, giving out your story, like DTM Vanitha Rangarajan rightly said, it's your story. And I think everybody's story deserves to be heard by everybody. So I think that's my motivation.
Okay, I think I got some very good. I think Lavanya wanted to say, you want to talk? Yeah, quickly. 30 seconds, yeah.
Hi, sir. So I have two reasons. Firstly, as Shashank said, even I want to share my story to the world. And secondly, it would be a great privilege to represent India in an international stage, and that's my dream.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on. I like the Vanitha Rangarajan's message which said, do you have that one story, one powerful message which can change the world? Remember the day you joined Toastmasters, what was your objective of joining Toastmasters? To overcome your shyness, nervousness, you want to be a good communicator, you want to be a good speaker. But as you went along, the focus started on actually winning competitions. It's okay to win competition. There are two kinds of speakers. One who are internally controlled, and their messages are identity based. That is, it comes with the identity of the person who are. The second set of speakers are externally controlled, who are focusing on the goals and the targets. Both are okay, but if it is coming from the internal to the external, the focus is better. So when you speak on the stage, you should have a strong message, something you want to give very badly to the world. So that could be the key point. To begin with, I like to start with a lovely quote by Somerset Maugham, the British novelist, who said, there are 3 secrets to writing a great novel. Unfortunately, nobody knows what they are. So probably there are 3 secrets to writing a great speech, and I'm sure very few people know about that. In the zest for triple crowns, DTMs, and winning competitions, the nuts and bolts, the fundamentals of writing a good speech is lost in the rat race. 2 decades back, I was also in the same dilemma. I had to write a small speech, actually a small love letter. I was in college and I met this angel called Saraswati, and it's called the thunderbolt when it hits you. I saw her at a wedding. Her name was Saraswati, but she looked like Mahalakshmi. I was confident that my Toastmaster writing skills, not just joined, would help me, woo her. So I started to write a letter with a very romantic zest. After wasting tons of newspaper, A4 size papers, and spending sleepless night, I wrote the shortest, sweetest, simplest, and the best structured speech I ever believed it was. It had an opening, a body, and a conclusion. And the speech was, I love you. The problem was that who could bell the cat? Who would deliver the love letter? Every time I went near the college, her dad would be waiting there, unfortunately, to pick her up. And he resembled the dacoit Veerappan, the thick mosh, bloodshot eyes. Only thing, he did not have a gun. So who would help me? And I thought, okay, who else but Mama? So I told Mommy, I told my mother the story about my love. She said, don't worry, beta. I will help you. I'll help you deliver the love letter. So the next afternoon, 3 o'clock, in a tuk-tuk auto rickshaw, my sister, myself, and 3 of us are headed towards the college to deliver the love letter. My mommy said, don't worry, I'll deliver it. So the moment we got done from the college, we saw her entering. Saraswati was entering out of the college gate. I went and hid behind a tree. Mama went from the distance, and I saw there was some conversation going on, and I saw she hugged Mommy. I said, wow. I felt like Alexander the Great. I came, I saw, I conquered. My mother returned with a smile. Mommy, what happened? Mommy replied, she took the letter and read it loudly. It read, I love you. And then she hugged me and said, I love you too, Auntie. Okay. Lesson learned, great contents, right audience, wrong speaker. Okay. The greatest speech all of you guys make can be the worst speech for the wrong audience. So understand that. So this is lesson number 1. I've been in Toastmasters for 20 long years. Whether it's a love letter, a speech to motivate, a story to inspire, an occasion to raise a toast, it takes effort, time, passion, and knowledge to write a good speech. One crucial lesson I've learned is, if you don't know the fundamentals, you will be drowned in a sea of information and confusion. That's the reason I love the nuts and bolts of writing a speech, which I learned from my mentors and masters. So I'm just going to share you the screen. And anytime you have a doubt, you have a clarification, you can stop me, you can stop the flow. Is that okay, Cyrus? Yeah. Can I have access to the speech? Can I share the screen? Okay. Where is it now? Is the screen visible? Great. Okay. So some of the learning objectives in this program will be, first of all, after completion of this training program, you will be able to learn the structure and process of writing a simple speech, number 1. The second objective will be you will be able to write an audience-centric speech, which is very important. And then I'll give you some special tips which will help you in the ISC competition. Is it okay, Cyrus, with you? Great. Okay. I'm going to start before the 7th step. Where do you start actually? How do you make it interesting? What is the best process to follow? How do you structure a speech? What stories do you add? How do you make it relevant to the audience? Often, we take the help of Google. Google has got the limitations and is too much of a fish market. I learned this the hard way. For several weeks, I was coming late, partying, and my wife stopped talking to me. A Cold War was going on. That evening, I decided I should come back home early and make peace with my wife. Fortunately or unfortunately, a long lost buddy, so-called long lost buddy from US called me, say, hey, Kadri, it's a long time since we met. Can we go to the pub? Hey, buddy, I can't come. My wife and I, we had a great quarrel. And if I go home late, I'm finished. It didn't take long for him to convince me when he offered me a Budweiser. A Budweiser, the buddy, is something too much of a temptation to resist. So I couldn't call my wife directly. I used my good friend, the Google Assistant. I said, hey, Google, call my wife and tell her I'll be late. And I won't come home for dinner. Google Assistant said, Master, at your service. There was a long silence. Then Google Assistant called me and said, next time you talk to your wife, she's too hot-headed. So there is a limit to using Google. Learning to write a speech using Google is like learning to drive a Formula car from a manual from book. Learning public speaking from books and YouTube, there is a limitation. Yes, you may watch a lot of world champion speeches. This could be a roadmap, definitely. But your ideas, your stories, your conviction, your unique message is what makes a winning speech. You may have the gift of the gab, great confidence, fearless, yet you will fail to connect with the audience and deliver a meaningful message. Confident public speaking requires a beautiful combination of great speech writing skills, solid preparation, confident delivery, a strong voice, and a rock solid, unique message. So this is what makes, so Google has got limitations. So I'm going to take you to the 7 steps of writing a speech. First is the topic selection. You can note it down if you like. This is not from Google. This is from years of experience. The area contest winners, anybody can write it down. Okay. The second is the purpose of a speech. Third one is the theme. Fourth one is the what is in it for me. Fifth one is the outline of the speech. The first draft, the editing. And these are the 7 steps which I follow over the years, and it's been really, really helpful for me. Okay, now let's come to this topic selection. Biggest selection, right now you're already in the international speech competition, but I'm going to give you all some tips because it's fundamental. Topic, first, there are 3 requisite. First is you should be passionate about the topic. Why should you be passionate about a topic? Because your passion for knowledge about a topic is the fuel which actually drives the entire speech. Your posture, your gesture, facial expression, the energy, all gets elevated when you talk about topics you're passionate about and enjoy. It's a very, very important criteria. On the contrary, if you talk about something which is the talk of the town and which is a winning topic you feel, it'll be the opposite. So that is the most important thing. Second is knowledge, expertise. It's not necessary that you have to have all the knowledge about a topic, but you have to prepare for that. A bottom line is you should be, if not for an international speech competition, for a keynote, you should know slightly more than the audience to be known as a credible speaker. And you should prepare to the extent that maybe for a 20-minute, for a 7-minute talk, maybe you should have enough information about the topic to talk for at least for 2-3 hours. So that's the formula for expertise. So you don't have to be an expertise, that is one. This is the key, an audience-centric speech. Just like I mentioned, the best speech in the world can be done at the worst speech for the wrong audience. Okay, so the audience-centric speech, there are methods about. So topic selection is there. But one more thing you have to see, if the audience doesn't see value in your topic, the judges also will not see value in the topic. So it's very simple formula. Okay. Now I'm moving to the second point of the thing. That is the purpose of the speech. The green indicates I'm moving from point 1 to the step 2. There are 2 things: general and specific purpose. I have taken only 4 things: inform, persuade, inspire, and entertain. But there are a lot of other purposes like ceremonial speeches, demonstrative speeches, manuscript speeches. But as far as the international speech competition is concerned, inform, persuade, inspire, entertain. Now let me move. What is a specific purpose? Whenever you're writing a specific purpose, remember a fact formula. What do you want the audience to think, reflect, ponder? That is the T. what you want the audience to feel, the emotion behind your thought. And the central one is the A, what you want them to act. Every speech should have a fat formula. There should be only one core message for the audience to take away. For example, what is speaking to inform, Cyrus? What all you think will cover? You have to unmute. You can unmute.
Yes, sir. So speaking to inform is basically like you're giving some information that is not known by the audience. So
great. So you're educating about some expertise, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Tell me about what is persuade and inspiration.
Persuade is to get somebody to think towards your line of thinking, to persuade them to do something at the end of it.
Okay.
Inspire is something that, speaking from experience or something that you've done before and you're trying to inspire your audience. And yeah, entertain is just about, entertaining the audience.
Okay, what's the basic difference between persuasion? It's important for you to know because a lot of ISC speeches are a combination of persuasion, inspiration, entertaining also. So there is a difference between persuasion and inspiration. So persuasion takes you to a specific objective, like donate blood, vote for candidate X, okay, reduce weight. Inspiration speeches are speeches which changes your belief system. It's motivation. It changes your value, like speeches, like political speeches, religious speeches. It may not have a very specific objective, but it changes and makes you think and reflect. A lot of international speech competition are more inspiration, less persuasion, or it could be a combination. Now, entertaining speeches are speeches, it could be a humorous speech, it could be a serious, a ghost story also, but it could have a strong message. For if you take international speech competition, when you add humor, it becomes a entertaining speech. So a central message, moving to the central message, your entire speech should be in only one sentence. At the end of the speech, what do you want your audience to do after they hear your speech? What is it you want them to do in one single speech? At the end of my speech, I want my audience to donate that bottle of blood. At the end of my speech, I want the audience to forgive people. At the end of my speech, I want the audience to lose weight. It has to be one single theme, one core message. A lot of the international speech competition, what happens, we have too many core messages and you have spread all over the place. Okay, you should have one. So you have to have one core message. Okay, so you're getting it now about what is the specific purpose? Central message. So when you start a speech, decide whether your speech can be one inform, persuade, or it can be a combination. Winning speeches are a combination of maybe persuade, inspiration, entertaining. Most ISC speeches are like that. And they have one solid central message. Okay. Now coming to the theme. Now this is something which actually confuses me, and actually I don't understand a lot of the speeches up to the district level. In the district level, don't have a theme. You take any international speech, it has a theme. What is the theme? The theme is the thrust of your speech. It's the thrust of your speech. It's the engine of your speech. And there has to be only one theme, only one engine. Okay, it's a repetitive factor which keeps resonating over and over again in the speech, 3 times, 4 times. It is like a catalyst which carries a message throughout. For example, a theme can be expressed one phase. I will play some videos for you to show what a theme is. Okay, it holds all the points. It's like the glue. It's one constant, it keeps going. People will forget your speech, but they will not forget your theme. That's very important. Okay. For example, if you take Dhananjaya's speech, what is the theme in Dhananjaya's speech, Manoj? Any idea? Anybody?
I see something in you.
I see something
I see something in you.
I see something new. I do not know what. Now his website has become that. His website has become that. He's famous in the world. Actually, that's a theme. A theme doesn't have to be very magical. It doesn't have to be a quote. It can be a repetitive factor. It is an incident in the speech. It can be an incident in the speech. Or it can be the central message. It can also be the topic. Okay? For example, what is the steps in a theme? Now let us theme. A theme is easier to follow. Anytime audience will not lose track of a speaker. The theme keeps reminding them and pulling them back to the central message over and over again. It also paints pictures. It creates a vivid image. The last one, it's a thrust or engine of the speech. Lot of speeches don't have a theme. Any movie will have a theme. Any story will have a theme. Every speech has to have a theme. It's extremely important. Now, some of the, okay, weave the speech together, main points support the message. Now, these are all the themes. Now, I'm going to go share some 3 short videos. Okay. And shall I start? Yes.
Kadiravan Rodrigo, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Kadiravan Rodrigo.
Sir, have you ever tried to be a superhero in your life? Has your wife ever questioned you? Who do you think you are? Madam, have you ever tried to be smart and brave and amazing? Has anyone walked up to you and said, who do you think you are? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. This intimidating question, who do you think you are, has been the reason behind my failures, yet recently, the reason behind my success. Let me tell you, when I was 6 years old, I was cute, and I was talkative, and that was a bad combination for my mother. That was just one thing she asked me to do, keep quiet. And forgetting this golden rule, at a gala dinner, she went and sat at the right end of the table. After the salads were served, I looked at my daddy's plate. I looked at mom. Again looked at daddy's plate. Again looked at mom and said, Mommy. She said, yeah. Sorry, honey, you need to speak up. I can't hear you. Can you eat caterpillars? Daddy's eating something like a caterpillar. My mom's face flushed with anger. She got up from her seat, came up to me, apologized, took me to a corner, and said, who do you think you are? To which I replied, well, Mommy, how I wonder you are.
Okay. I'll upload 2 more short videos where the theme repeats in the same speech. Okay.
Well, I was traveling with my grandmother in a taxi. Once we reached the destination, the taxi driver said, and that'll be $32, madam. I took out a $50 bill and I gave it to him. To which he politely replied, oh, sorry, madam, I don't have change. I looked at him and I said, it's okay, you can keep the change. I got down from the taxi to look at my grandmother's face with something like this. Did you just... The next time when someone questions you, hey, who do you think you are? Look them in the eye.
Sorry, I think I skipped the video once again. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I was traveling with my grandmother in a taxi. Once we reached the destination, the taxi driver said, and that'll be $32, madam. I took out a $50 bill and I gave it to him. To which he politely replied, oh, sorry, madam, I don't have change. I looked at him and I said, it's okay, you can keep the change. I got down from the taxi to look at my grandmother's face with something like this. Did you just give an $18 tip for a $32 ride? Who do you think you are?
Now she moves on to the last part of the speech where she completely focused the entire speech on the theme, the central message, and the topic. Yeah.
So next time when someone questions you, hey, who do you think you are? Look them in the eye, smile, confidently yet humbly say, someone better than yesterday, better yet, someone you haven't met yet. Who do you think you are, Mr. Contest Chair?
Yes. So any questions, any reactions? Some of the good examples of in the World Championship is the 1995 Mark Brown speech, A Second Chance. And then the Power of Words, Muhammad Katani. Manoj Vasudev, you can fix it. So you can use your quote. You can use your own, you're muted, Cyrus. You can use a quote. You can use your own phrase. It doesn't have to be very powerful. It should be repeated. So what are the clarifications anybody has got? Lavanya, Maria George. It's important we understand this team now, because if you miss it, you're going to miss the bus. It's a very important difference.
Sir. May I, sir?
May I? Yeah, Balaji. If you can come on the screen, I can see your handsome. Yes.
Sir, I think this part is what was always a little tricky when it came to writing my speeches, and I think I still need a little more clarity. For my understanding, sir, okay, a theme is that storyline or the context which basically is related to your final message.
No.
Okay.
The storyline. It is just a phrase or a sentence which can be the title of the speech. It can be the central message, or it can hang loosely. Just to, if you take Dhananjaya's speech, which is, I see something new, I don't know what. It is not the central message. It is a phrase which is told over and over again in the speech to draw the attention to the central message, or draw the audience to the central message. The audience remember the central message incident because of that. But if you take a Mark Brown second chance speech, 1995, you should look at it. Here he says everybody in the world requires a second chance. You can't treat them poorly and badly. So it is a repeating, a resonating factor which draws the audience to the central message, or keeps reminding the audience to come back to the speech. It's like an engine which pulls the whole story. It's a catalyst. It's like a twine binding the whole story. It's like a twine. If you go in a running race, it's like a you know, the baton. If you drop the baton, you lost the race. The theme is like that. So I suggest what you do watch a couple of speeches like, you know, Mark Brown, you know, Sherry's speech. All the international speeches have a theme, and you will see how each one of them. It does not have to be the central message. It can be. Like in this girl's speech, it was a central message also. It was a title also. So that is a difference it can be. Okay, but you have to have a theme. It keeps repeating over and again, reminding the audience, drawing the audience to the central message.
Got it, sir. Got it. I think now I have clarity.
I can send some notes on that later on to the district. I can send it to the district. I have a lot of notes which are prepared. I can send it to the district. No problem. Yeah.
Great, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anybody else? Can you move on? Okay. Okay. Next one is the step 4 in the 7-step process. Now here is where, you know, we write great, just like how I wrote the love letter. We'll be writing a great speech, but we'll be missing the audience name. Okay. So how do you need it? What is in it for me is very important. And maybe you're preparing an international speech competition. Maybe it's a broad axle. But when you're preparing, you know, when the outside world for an audience, a keynote address, talking to children, talking to your schools, you have to prepare a speech for the audience name. First is, I'm coming to the 4th step is, any speech should solve a problem for the audience. For example, I don't have motivation to get up and go to the gym. I don't have focus to study. I'm overweight. It could satisfy a need to be loved, to be forgiven, to be appreciated. It could help them achieve a goal, reduce pain or increase happiness. So anything, anybody will listen to you, what is in it for me? Most of the time as speakers, we focus on our achievements, our dreams, our goals, forgetting this how factor. If you have noticed in a lot of speeches, when they come to the end, they don't tell the audience how the problem has to be solved. Okay. So this WFM principle is a universal principle in marketing and communication, and it's a cornerstone for constructing the effective and powerful speech. Even if you are the world champion of public speaking, please remember it's not about yourself and your achievements. It should be rather about, yes, I have achieved, I have climbed Mount Everest, but I will also teach you how to climb Mount Everest. So you have to spend time understanding the need of the audience. Suppose you're invited to a speaker for an event. You have to do a lot of research on the audience. Similarly, maybe for an international speech competition, What research you need to do? Maybe your topic should be universal, not just Indian based. It should be universal. Maybe forgiveness, love, failure, success. It could be a universal topic. It should have universal appeal. So that is one. Step number 4. Yeah, I just probably don't focus. Now, you have finished your selection of the topic. You know your general purpose, specific purpose. You selected a theme. Now, the challenge over here is you have to add all these things and fine-tune the need about it. That means every story, every anecdote, every statistic, every anecdote, every incident should be fine-tuned for the audience. So that's important. You have to fine-tune for the need of the audience. Suppose you're talking to school children, it's going to be different. If suppose you're talking to adults, it will be different. So you have to fine-tune, add everything together and see whether my topic, the purpose of my topic that is specific and general purpose, and the theme which I've selected suits the need of the audience. Yeah. And to the final core message. Now you have done, I'll stop at this point. Any doubts you guys have? Anything you want to ask? Sunil Kumar, anything you like to talk before I proceed? Anyone? Cyrus is all, yeah, Cyrus knows everything. I'm not able to see.
So we have Lavanya who has a question.
Yeah, please. Yeah, Lavanya, you can go ahead.
Sir, your last sub point, what do you mean by focus not on speaker?
Yeah, when I say focus not on speaker, mean don't focus on yourself. See, what happens is, if I have one, focus should not be on the speaker. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, that is, let us say I've achieved a world champion in public speaker, climbed Mount Everest. Don't keep on talking about yourself. I've achieved. Yes, you climbed Everest. Tell me how I should climb Mount Everest. In an international speech competition, lot of time I see that thing tapers off. You don't tell the audience how to solve the problem. You tell them you have to be motivated. You should climb mountain. You should get up in the morning. Everything fine, but tell me the steps. No. How do I come out of depression? Give me the steps 1, 2, 3. You came out right. Teach me also. That's a point. Yeah. Shashank.
Sir, you spoke about solving a particular problem.
Yeah.
Now, do you actually define and then give them proper steps, or do you just let your speech be a motivation for them to solve or look at a particular problem? How do you tackle it?
You need to have your motivation, inspiration, structure is there, but you need to have the solution, the steps to solve the problem. You have to give them the steps.
So a call to action is required.
How do I do it? Not only the call to action is the last. Okay. In the morning, rise up, do all that is call to action. How is very important. How? It can be in simple steps also.
Okay.
For example, I'm extremely shy. I'm not very comfortable with my Toastmasters club. I'm a very nervous person. So my suggestion would be come early to the Toastmasters venue. Meet a few people, start talking to them. After the meeting is over, start to talk to a couple of people. By that time, you start overcoming your nervousness. This worked for me, so this could work for you too. So I'm giving exact steps to solve your nervousness problem. Yeah, Namita.
Hi, sir. Sir, my question is, you told a few minutes before that we should not have the focus on the speaker. But where there is a speech, I'm talking about some particular person. If it is like my own family member or relative, whom I have whose story I'm actually representing, and directly whether from there directly I should move to audience, or should I put my role also in between, like how I have learned from him. So do I need to add my story also in between, or how is it, or directly I will leave to the audience before the conclusion?
Yeah, you can tell how that person has influenced your life, how he has changed your perspective, how it has changed you, and then you can connect to the audience.
Okay, so that part is important.
It's important, because you can't tell Gandhi's story and then everybody has read Gandhi's story. No, tell me how it changed you.
Okay.
Yeah, Zulika. Yeah, Zulika. Would you like to come on the screen? Okay. Saranya, speak.
Hi, sir. So,
Yes.
I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible.
Hello, am I audible?
Just a second. Let Tulika finish. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm actually at a noisy place, sir, so I can't come online. But it's amazing to hear all the tips that you have shared with us so far. I have this question that there are various kinds of speeches. Like there is humorous speech, there are book reviews, and there are kinds of speeches. Now, is it always possible to have a purpose for the audience rather than self?
No. Let's understand. First, you start with what is the purpose of your speech? What is the purpose? You want to entertain the audience? You want to motivate them? What do you want to do? That is the purpose of your speech. You have a very strong message. You want to tell the audience, I have a strong message for you. I want to share with you. That's where you start. Okay. What's the next part of your question?
So is audience going to be centered in all speech formats? Can that be possible? For example, a book review. Can audience also be the center part of the, audience for that? Yeah.
I understand. Why does an author write a book? For himself? He's got a universal audience, no? He's got somebody in mind, no? For children, for wildlife experts, without an audience, where is the book? Where is the speech? You have to have an audience, no?
Yeah, that's a bullseye. Yeah, agree completely.
Thank you, Saran. Tell me, Saran.
Hi, sir. So, sir, if you see, this is regarding the third point theme. So if you see Kaishika's speech or Dhananjaya's speech, they had 3 segments of the speech. So first, the storyline goes to the mother, then it goes to grandmother. So when they reiterated the theme over there, it was pretty impactful, right? But say when you take some simple storyline, even in Dhananjaya's speech, there were 3 sections. First, he goes to the jail, and then he goes to Toastmasters, and then he goes to something else. His wife comes into picture. But when you take a simple storyline, just say I'm going to a trekking. So in that case, if I keep reiterating the theme, it might not have that much of an impact like how the sections of the speeches had the impact. If I'm clear about what I'm asking.
I think you're quite clear.
Okay. So if we reiterate, say if I have to do it, say that is my topic. So I'm trying to climb a mountain, I have to do it. Then I go to a different part of the mountain, I have to do it. So in this case, it kind of gets repetitive and it kind of gets like over the hook type, right? So yeah, how do
you balance the theme in different, how many times, how do you balance it, right? How do you balance it? For you say sometimes the theme may not fit into your story. For example, I think one of my mentees said he's not able to get a good theme for his speech. Let me example to you. There are no definite rules that there are 3 sections of any speech. For example, there can be an opening, body, conclude. Those are 3 main sections. Okay. A theme draws attention to an incident over and over again. It reminds the audience of something over and over again. A theme need not be a central message. It need not be the topic. It can be something which repeats over and over again. For example, you're talking about the mountain. Okay, you're talking about the mountain. Okay, the first day they came the mountain, I took 100 steps and I wanted to give up. But I remember what my grandfather told me, Saranya, never ever give up. I continued my journey. I came to the middle of forest. I saw a tiger and I started running. I climbed up a tree and I said, let me go home. Then I remembered what my grandfather said, Saranya, never ever give up. So you see how simple you can use a theme? It doesn't have to be very dynamic. It doesn't have to be a quote. It can be your own message. But it has to have value then. That's the point. You're getting the point? It's not necessary you have to use a theme in the end. It can be 3 times, 2 times. But something which resonates and strings, it's like a garland with a string in the middle. It's like the engine which pulls the whole speech. It's like a catalyst which draws everything together. Got it now? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's a lovely question, actually. Thank you for the question. I think a brilliant question. In all the people, Tulika asked a lovely question. Amita, thank you. Yeah, Ashwini. If we are going at the right pace, nothing to worry. Hi, Ashwini.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
So my question is about the introduction. Every speech, I seem to see a lot of people use a question to start with it.
Yeah.
Can it not be a situation or an experience and then you bring them? Should it be, you also spoke about the structure need not be being the same way as you mentioned that 3 parts in a speech and all that. So can we try different things wherein I'm just sharing an experience and trying to bring the audience attention towards something.
What I'll do, Ashwini,
establishing that.
within a couple of minutes, we're coming to the opening.
Okay.
After that, you ask me a question, so it'll be relevant. Is it okay with you? It's good. In a couple of minutes, we'll be coming to the structure, opening, body, conclusion. So I will highlight your point that time. Is it okay?
Sure, sure.
Just within a few minutes. Okay, that okay.
Sure.
Okay. Then Nikesh?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. My question is, if let's say I want to give reason for people to climb the mountain, rather than how did I climb, if I want to focus on why should they climb the mountain, can that be also something which is fine?
Absolutely. You can give them why you should climb the mountain, but have you climbed the mountain to tell them, to inspire them? If you have not climbed, no, you can't tell them, no. That's important, no. You have to tell them why you have to climb the mountain. Tell them I didn't want to climb the mountain, but you know why I climbed the mountain? Because I wanted to be fit. I wanted to see nature. I wanted to see the world. And that's why you also should climb. That link should be.
And my second question is, many times we focus on using nice English words as such, right? Is that what something which makes a difference as such, or we can keep very
No, see, actually, I'll be talking about just, public speaking is just glorified conversation. You don't have to use jargon, high funda words, etc. In fact, it is advised instead of the word you use, instead of the word using the word utilize, use the word use. You should simplify. Everybody may not be a Shakespeare in the audience. Somebody will be simple also. No, it's about the message, not the language. High funda language vocabulary is not going to get you anywhere. You have to make it in simple sentences. We are not a Shashi Tharoor. We are all ordinary audiences. That's important. Okay. Pradyum, yeah. It's within up to how much we have covered. Any question you ask? Yeah.
Yes, sir. When is okay, we will be delivering speeches to give messages. Some messages would be like we can convey them in just one line, and we need to stretch that for 5 minutes or more. So that will be just beating around the bush. So how not to make it boring?
Okay, I'm going in the end of the session. No, I'm going to give you some tips on editing. When you edit your speech, all this will go away. Okay, I'll come to that. When you edit your speech, no, we got some 6-7 steps of editing. We'll go to that. Okay. Now let me go to the next portion of the speech. Okay. Now let me go once. Now the fifth step is but just to reiterate, the WFM is write a speech which is relevant to the audience, because the best speech in the world will be the worst speech for the wrong audience. Okay, whether you're talking in international speech competition, whether you're talking to a college student, wherever you're talking. Now let's go to you have the topic ready with you. You know the general purpose, specific purpose. You have the theme. You have all the audience input now. You have a single message which says, at the end of my speech, I want every single person in the audience to start climbing mountains. That's my message. I want everybody. So you've established topic, the core. Now in the opening of, what is the purpose of opening? Can anybody tell me what's the purpose of an opening? Mr. Radhakrishnan sir, what's the purpose of an opening?
Grab attention of the audience.
Yes, sir.
To open the mind of the audience.
Okay.
So that you can put the seed of your idea.
Okay. Let's understand. Every opening has got 3 purposes. One is to actually get the attention of the audience. Perfect. Because audience all around, they'll be physically present, mentally they'll be somewhere else. The next is to build a rapport and get the audience to listen. The most important thing is to introduce your topic and give a preamble, a preview to the central message. So these are the 3 things. So the outline of a speech is, every speech has got an opening, a body, conclusion. The body will have one supporting point 1, point 2, point 3. It's called point, example, point. Then you can have a conclusion where you recap the main point, summarize the core message. There are a lot of ways to close a speech. So let's come to the first draft now. Okay. In this first draft, I'll do a little bit on the outline. Even before I write the whole speech, I'll write an outline. The outline will have the opening, body, and conclusion. Now, I may not have the opening at all in the beginning. I can have it later. But the body of the speech, suppose the main message of my speech is, the central message is, I want everyone to climb climb mountains. That is the central. At the end of my speech, everybody should be climbing mountains. Okay. Now, you have to give them 3 points in the body of the speech. What are the 3 points? One is, I've been climbing mountains from a little girl, and I've been fit. I've had phenomenal experiences. That is why you must climb mountains. Number 1. Number 2, when you climb mountains, you'll appreciate nature. You can clean up the mountains, etc., etc. Number 3, you can become a great storyteller when you start climbing mountains. So you should have 3 points, your own stories, your own points, which will be supported. And then you come to the outline. Okay. Now, what happens in the first draft? How many of you guys get stuck up in writing speeches? Sudesh?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you get stuck up because you're always looking for perfection. It doesn't have to be too detailed. Okay, you can start with sentences. You can start with deadline. Start with bullet points. It doesn't have to be full-fledged speech. Don't write a speech like writing an essay. That is not the way speeches have to be written. And the first drafts don't have to be perfect. They just have to be written. Okay. First thing is, if you get a deadline, no, it motivates you. Deadlines motivate us because human beings, we are generally goal-oriented, target-oriented. So you say, I'll finish my speech within 15 days, 20 days. Set a target. The second thing is, don't worry, you can write a speech in sentences, you can write in bullet points, you can use whatever style, but please start. Then, does it have to be in sequence? Absolutely not. Doesn't have to be in sequence. When I write a speech, my third point becomes my first point. Sometimes 7th point will go away. Sometimes I'll add new points. Just have to have the bullet points. The stories 1, 2, 3. The situations 1, 2, 3. The points 1, 2, 3. What about transitions between speeches? Don't worry about transitions at all in the beginning. You can write down, I have to connect point 1 and point 2. I think the connection between point 2 and point 3 is weak. I'll come to it later. Got it? And then, how many words, how many length? Don't worry about, just keep writing. Usually, most speakers, for a 700-word speech, for a 7-minute speech, they might write 1,500 words, 2,000 words. Doesn't matter, you can get it. The first draft can be any length. It can be too short, it can be too long. Do not put too many rules in the first draft. Okay? They don't have to be perfect, they just have to be written. Now, opening is get the attention, I told you, make the audience, all these things are there. Now I want to get the question, Ashwini, you know, that question you asked, can you repeat the question, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should the opening always have a question, or it can have anything and then, maybe not have any questions at all?
It doesn't have to ask, I have a question at all, not at all necessary. See, basically, the opening should be connected to your topic and it should lead into the body of the speech. And it should also introduce a topic and you should get the attention. Very important. There are 100 ways to open a speech. A quote, a story, a question mark, a prop, a noise, a dance. You can do anything to get the attention, but it must be connected to the topic and where you're heading to it. It can't be a joke just for the sake of a joke. It can't be hanging in the air. That's important.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, now the body of the speech is a point 1, a statement, supporting material example. I don't think you have challenges over here. I think you will be having challenge in the transitions. Maybe 2 points, 3 points. If you look at all the speeches, they'll have 2 points, 3 points, 3 stories, and then this. So it can be a demonstration, a video, a prop, a story, supporting material. So there should be 2 or 3 points. Each point should build upon the other point. That's very important. Each point should build upon the other point. So that's the body of the speech. Now, supporting material, I told you can be that. Now, this is you have right now what all you have. Now, you have the opening, you have a body. The body of the speech has got 3 points. And now you think you have the conclusion also. You think, okay, virtually my speech is over. Now, something which is missing. What is missing now? Anybody can tell me. Ramya?
The transition between the...
Okay. Why are transitions important and what do they transition?
to give the speech a smooth flow.
Okay, great. Smooth flow. Then that's a good point. Okay, let's see what transitions are. Help shift smooth from one point to another. Next one, it helps the audience understand the speech because it's a glue which actually helps shift from one point to another. It's very important you move from one point to another effortlessly and seamlessly, and prepares the listeners to come. For example, today I'm going to give you 3 solid facts on how to write a great speech. The most important, the first point in writing a solid speech is you need to start early. How many days early should I start? Maybe 7 days, 15 days? Now I've completed telling you that you should start a speech early. Let me explain to you the second most important factor. Now that's how I move from point to point. You getting it? But usually in stories, it may not be so easy. It will be a little difficult. And that's where we jump. I'll put a video. I want you to tell me. Yeah. Everybody, I'm going to play this video. I want to tell me where the transition is missing and how you can close it. Can we play this video? Yes? Yes. But I'll play the video directly from my... Just give me a minute. Yeah, I'll just share that video. Any questions by the time? Yeah. Well, can you see the video?
Malala had dared to raise her voice.
Not sharing your screen, sir.
I'll share. I'll stop.
Malala had dared to raise her voice. Malala had dared to raise her voice. Traditional society in Pakistan. A society.
You can see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Malala had dared to raise her voice for the education of girls in a traditional society in Pakistan. A society which believed that women were made to bear children, to cook in the kitchen, to worship God, and nothing more. What would you do if you were shot at? Would you crumble and let go of a belief that is dear to your heart? Or would you enlist help to shoot down your enemy?
I'll put it again now.
And let go of a belief you're shot at. Would you crumble?
Yeah. Can tell me where the transition is. It is a brilliant speaker, very good speech, excellent delivery, but a very important transition is missing there. Anyone? Okay.
From Malala to the audience.
Yeah, what would the exact gender say? You were shot, and Pakistan is a place where, they've been discriminated, and then he jumps. What would you do? Where is the connection? Is there a connection, Cyrus? Is there a connection, Nitin? So how do you join this? Can anyone join those two things? Come on. It's a fantastic speech, but the transition is missing over there. There's one lost problem. Yeah.
Probably you could say, imagine yourself in such a situation.
Imagine yourself in such a situation. Beautiful, beautiful translation, Manlima. Very good transition. Imagine that you're in such a situation. What would you do? That transition would have been much clearer. Excellent. Manoj, anything to add? Anybody wants to add? It's a practice for you all. Because you just go, the story is so enchanting, his delivery is world class, you'll just miss the transition. The judges will not miss the transition. They'll know the transition is missing. It'll miss. And at the end of the speech, no, you'll feel something is missing in the speech. Yeah, I'm not feeling good. You will not even notice the transition is missing, but it's missing. Yeah. So as you notice the missing transition? Yeah, the missing transition. Okay. So I'm going to give you all some simple exercises. You like to take a paper and pen, please, all of you all. Take a paper and pen. I'm going to make you all do some transition. Cyrus is already bored. He says, I know all this yet. What is he teaching me? Arjun, I got only Arjun support. I don't know about other people. Well, I know, Milind sir, I think, sir, you're looking very good in your suit and also you must come a little close and start talking to us, sir. Some comments, sir, some criticism at least is okay. Yeah, tell me, sir. How is it going, sir, till now?
You're thoroughly enjoying. And I have a pen and pencil I'm jotting down.
Oh, thank you, sir. People like you. What about Sapna? You have a paper and pencil with you. Okay, I'm going to give you all some exercises now. First exercise, just fill in all these transition statements I'm going to give you. You can, my screen is seen?
Not yet, sir. It's not yet shared.
Yeah, I'll just share the screen.
Arjun wanted to say something, I think.
Yeah, Kadri sir, I have a question before we go into the exercise. I thought, let me just not interrupt that particular flow. Now, I want to go back one step regarding a specific outline point which you mentioned towards the end of the speech, wherein you talked about usage of a prop. Now, one common question that I receive from a lot of people is that, is it mandatory to use a prop? Now, my response is it depends on the speech part of it, but I want to know from your perspective, what is it that a speaker can do, especially at a contest setting, in terms of usage of a prop or any specific visual aid, as a matter of fact?
Visual aids and props are always a tricky proposition. You have to be an experienced speaker and you should have used the props and visual aid over and over again, and still you can actually screw things up.
Yeah.
Introducing the prop at the right moment, withdrawing the prop at the right moment, hiding it at the right moment, its relevance to the central message, the smoothness and the efficiency with the prop is brought in. It's an art. It's like a magician's work. And don't even try to bring a props to impress the audience or the judge. It's the biggest mistake you make. Okay. What you're drawing attention to the wrong things. I'm not saying you should not use it. You should use a prop. I have used props in my CC speeches. I've used a sword. I've used a siren. I've used all kinds of things. Okay. I used an inchaku. I've all kinds of weapons, everything I've used. But I was trying out. And one of the Division 11 contests, the only contest I lost was one division contest where my PPT, there was a victim of an acid victim. I played. The screen didn't come. Finish, over. Projector didn't go. Finish, whole speech went off. So it's a very tricky question. I mean, it's a tricky thing to use a prop. What you need to do when you start the speech, don't say, I'm going to use this prop. It's a great prop. No. You start with, what is my central message? What do you want to tell the audience? Then the prop can be added as a creative element in the end, probably. Don't start with thinking about a prop. No. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You may have a gold diamond necklace also, Arjun Raj. Give it to your wife, but don't use it. Okay, I'll share the screen now. Okay, I'm going to give a simple exercise. You can see it now? You can see? Yeah. Yes, sir. Just fill it up now. It's a very simple exercise in transitions. So Mary's work is wonderful. Dash, she got the raise. What can you?
Sir, we can't see properly because it is not on slideshow mode. It's still PPT mode. Could you just... It's
not on slideshow mode, Cyrus?
No, sir. It's on normal slide. Yeah.
Not. What do I have? It's sharing. Full share. No, full it is. No, full.
It's taking some time. I think it's you've clicked it, but
no, it's correct. No, full screen it is that. Okay, you can just write it down. You can see is Arjun, Balaji, Abu Anas.
So we can see it, sir, or I think you can just maximize the size, sir. Top right.
Oh, it's 100%. No, full 100%. See, I made it 100%. Okay, I'll just. It's 100%.
On F5.
F5. It's full F5.
Sir, I think you need to share the entire screen and not share a window.
I think you're sharing the wrong window.
Now? Now you can see, no?
No, it is not
Not yet
shared
shared,
at
sir.
all.
It's not yet shared.
Nothing we are seeing now.
Okay, I'll share the screen correctly. Just give me a minute, please. I'm not tech savvy, a little challenging. Sorry about that. Is it okay now? Still the same problem?
It's the same. For a minute, it flashed in bigger font.
I'll just stop sharing. I'll share again. And then if the videos over here, it should come, no?
No, slideshow mode is not yet on, sir. That is why we are not able to see.
So on top left, you can see home.
Yeah.
In that line, slideshow, go to the fourth one, which is slideshow.
Yes.
Okay. And click from the beginning or this thing.
I'll give Cyrus control. Yeah. Cyrus, take care.
Actually, you can just request. Yeah. Thank you.
You told me before, now I would have given you the job, no? You're sitting silently. Yeah. Done? You can see it now?
Sir, as you said, if you could read out, we would.
I'll start reading a bit. And the first sentence is, Mary's work is wonderful, dash, she got a raise. Fill that dash, the transition. Mary's work is wonderful, dash, she got a raise.
No wonder that she got a raise.
No wonder she got a raise. Hence she got a raise. Very good. Lucy was a terrible employee, dash, she got promoted.
How on earth she got promoted?
How on earth? That's a very negative statement.
Yet she got a promotion.
Yet she got promoted.
Okay. We hope to see the order on time. Dash you will cancel.
Left you will cancel.
You don't get it.
Else.
Yes.
Or we will cancel.
Yeah. She was attractive, dash, she was not beautiful.
Oh.
But she was.
But
Yet not beautiful.
yet she was not beautiful. Though she was not beautiful.
Okay. I'll give the last one. Please be on time, dash, try to be early.
Please try to be on time.
Please be on time, try to be early.
Don't give me
Better
surprises. Please be early.
Okay, what I can do is now, I'll stop sharing now. I want you all to, if you all don't want to reveal your speech, maybe you don't want to reveal your speech, but if you can give me two last paragraphs, anybody of your speech, last two. The last sentence of the one paragraph, the first sentence of the next paragraph. I can tell you where it is going around. I'm extremely good at transitions. I think so. I'm very good. I have hundreds and hundreds of transitions, original transitions, extremely good transitions I can do. So if anybody can give me a transition, Royal, you could want to give us your speech, your secret speech. Praveen, okay. Yes, Praveen, you can come on the screen and share the last sentence of your speech, and let's see if we can help you. Yeah.
I'm audible, sir.
Extremely audible, visible. You're looking good also.
So my last sentence is, I have taken my first step. Dear Toastmaster, have you?
Okay. Now, what's the next sentence, next paragraph? Is that the... When we said, I have taken my last step to dear Toastmasters, have you? What's the next paragraph? Next one.
Last, actually. Can I read the full last paragraph of my...
No, don't read the last paragraph. People like roll will copy. Don't do that. No, just kidding. What you do, you give me the connection between the second paragraph and third paragraph. The sentence of the second paragraph, the last sentence of the second paragraph, and the first sentence of the third paragraph.
Okay, sir.
Are we going in the right direction, Arjun?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Thanks a lot.
No doubt, planning and strategizing are good.
No, your voice got ready. Tell me slowly. Yeah.
No doubt, planning and strategizing are good. But action is what delivers an outcome. Truly, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin.
Yeah. No, wait. There's a transition missing now. Already it's missing. Can you repeat them? Can anybody help him? Who's going to help him now? You repeat those two sentences and repeat the first sentence and stop. It's missing now.
You
When it repeats, sir?
Yeah, repeat. Now let us see who helps you.
No doubt, planning and strategizing are good, but action is what delivers an outcome. Truly, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin.
Yeah, so there is no connection between the last sentence and the previous sentence. You have to connect it now. It's hanging in the air. There is no connection. No, there are two different bodies, right? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can feel it, but I don't know how to feel it.
Let's see who can help out. Who can help out? Can you type out that sentence in the chat box now? Come on. Let's maybe Manoj will help out. Milind can help. Who's going to help out?
I couldn't hear Praveen at all.
Actually, we couldn't
Praveen could write on the chat box, it would be better.
You write in the chat box and we'll solve the problem. And then Praveen can send me the check later. It's okay. Quickly. We're going to close. No, we're going to. Yeah, I think Mrs. Meera Rao, you've been very quiet. Would you like to say something? I haven't heard you talk at all. Can you say something, ma'am? I'd love to hear you speak.
Sir.
You're participating in the area competition, ma'am?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Fantastic, yeah. And you must speak, ma'am. I'd love to hear your speeches. Are you typing it now, Praveen, on the chat box?
Yes, sir.
Let me hear you. This thing. Let's connect it now. Anybody else would like to give the sentence by the time? One more exercise we'll do. Yes, sir. You can put your last two sentences. Any paragraph, the last sentence and the next sentence, the next paragraph. Yeah. The first sentence, the next paragraph. Two participants, Lavanya raised hand. Okay, good.
Okay. Yeah, so it goes like this. For a caterpillar to become a butterfly, it has to go through the cocoon. Sorry, it has to go through, once again, it has to go and come out through the dark cocoon. And for you to become a butterfly of your life, you need your failures to shape you.
No, the transition is weak actually. It's weak over there. Okay, repeat the first sentence. I'll come to Praveen. Repeat the first sentence. Talk about the caterpillar.
For a caterpillar to become a butterfly, it has to come out of a dark cocoon. And for you to become a butterfly of your life, you need your failures to shape you.
So you have to say, for you to come out of your dark cocoon, just like the butterfly, you have to treat your failures like that. It has to come. That's a very closer link.
Okay.
You have to, it should be very similar to the last sentence. That's much closer. Like the butterfly has to come out through the steps of the dark cocoon. Even we as human beings have to come out to the dark cocoons of failures. That's the transition.
Okay. So got it.
Got it? No? Thank you. Yeah, who else? Somebody else was raising that. Yeah, but Praveen, now, no doubt planning and strategy are good, but action is what delivers an outcome. Then you have put down, I didn't see the next sentence. Yeah.
Truly the only possible.
Yeah, no doubt planning and strategy are good, but action is what delivers an outcome. Truly the impossible journey will begin only when action is there. That can be a better transition. Or the day you begin action, the impossible journey will begin. Your strategies will fail if there is no action. Like that you have to connect. Is that okay now?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting the idea now? Okay, good. Anybody else wants to close their speech? Yes. Yeah, come on.
Can I go?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Even now, and then those thoughts pop up in my mind. As a son, did I fail in my duty to my mama? My sister's words, Dada, do not beat yourself, consoles me. What do you think?
Yeah, could you just repeat the first sentence or that son sentence?
Okay. Even now, and then those thoughts plop up in my mind. As a son, did I fail in my duty towards my mama? My sister's words, Dada, do not beat yourself, consoles me. What do you think?
Okay. Between your sisters, where and your thought, you have to link those two things.
Okay.
You have to link those two things. You got it now?
Okay.
You repeat again, I'll tell you. You have to link those two. You have to link those two. It's good, but it's weak.
Okay. Can I read the previous paragraph? So you can
No, these two is good enough for me. This is good enough.
Okay, fine. Okay, I need to connect. Okay.
You stop at that last sentence and then pause and then continue. I'll tell you how to connect. Between your own thoughts and your sister's words. I want that link.
Okay. Even now and then, those thoughts pop up in my mind. As a son, did I fail in my duty towards my mama? My sister's words. Dada, do not beat yourself.
Yeah, what my sister's word reassured me that my thoughts were wrong. My sister's word encouraged me to say, should not think like that. That is a link.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Okay.
Does it help, sir?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
And the point there, so I can put a question. What do you think? To the audience, that's okay.
Thinking, but then what's the next sentence after what do you think? Tell me that.
Okay, it was like open-ended. I was planning for this.
What is the next sentence? After what do you think? What's the next? I want to know the next sentence.
Over to Toastmaster.
No, you see, one of the things, don't leave the audience standing in the middle of the ocean. Give them a solution.
Okay.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
About Milin's sentence. Is it necessary to bring in the word my sister's words reassured, or can we leave it to the audience to read between the words? Because when it says Dada, whatever she's supposed to have said, isn't it clear in a way that she's reassuring?
No. That is Milan's way of putting his point of view and story. We will not touch the contents of Milan. That is his business.
Correct. So I'm asking, doesn't that sentence, doesn't it come out as reassurance on its own? Do we have to summarize and say reassured me? Wouldn't that make your sentence a little dull instead of attractive?
No, it's a perspective which we have. That's okay. Milan can do it in so many different ways. Ultimately, what is his core message? How he wants to say. Milan can even say, once he finished, over and over again, these thoughts started pounding me. Until my sister told me, Milan, please, you're a good man. You always stood by your work. Now that pause is also a transition. It can be that. It can also be a transition. It also can be a transition. Delivery is very important. Sometimes you can get away with a weak transition by a good pause. You can get away. So therefore, allow pauses. Don't run. Okay, let's move on next now. I'll just share now. Yeah. Now the closing. What is the purpose of the closing? There are the closing of the speech. The purpose of the conclusion is equal to the purpose of the speech. How all can you close? Vocal signals, verbal signals. Refer back to the introduction statement. You can write this down. Like example, if you look at that girl's speech, the Rodriguez speech, she started the speech with the introduction of who do you think you are? And she ended it with finally, who do you think you are? I think it is a brilliant way. And then connect the core message to the theme and the audience. Tell the audience, wake up. It's time you woke up. Wake up. Or in the Summon the Mountain speech, never ever give up. No matter what happens to you. You failed in your exams. You have a very bad relationship. You have broken your leg. You've suffered financial difficulties. Never ever give up. That could be kind of the theme and the audience. Clear, concise ending. Don't beat around the bush. Simple. You can end with the statement. You can end with the quote. You can end with the poem. But remember to summarize what you want to tell the audience. And there should be a call to action. And also, just before that, probably you can have how do I do it should be there. This is all the way of closing a speech. Now I'll just come to the editing part because we're running short of time. Now I'll just give you some quick ways to edit a speech. Now you're finished writing your speech now. Now how do you edit your speech quickly? How do you edit your speech? I've seen people write the speech and they send it, it's done now. How many times does Roel D'Souza edit his speech? He's not calling me to Mangalore for a beer or a fish. He's not even talking. What is the point of having mentees? How many times you edit his speech?
Yeah, for contest, normally 8 to 9 times.
Okay. Okay. What is your method of editing?
one thing is try to shorten the sentence. If there are some words which doesn't add any value, so perhaps shorten the sentence. Because I still remember in one of my speeches, there's a big chunk of paragraph. Okay, might be around 20-30 words. And I just showed it to one of my mentor back then, Jyotika Shetty, and she just summarized the entire paragraph in just one sentence, 7 words. Right? So which gave me more space to add more content to the speech. I feel that's one of the important factors.
Okay, that's a good one. So see, I do something called the macro editing and the micro editing. I do two kinds of editing. Macro editing is now, I start editing mercilessly every element of the speech, every point, every statistics, every word, every story, every joke. Now listen carefully. Every visual word must support your core message. Every time your core message means you paint a core message on your wall and keep looking. Oh, this word, it must be your favorite story about your girlfriend also. If it doesn't fit to the core message, throw it out. It doesn't work over there, throw it out. Every sentence, every story must connect to the core message. Never ever give up or climb a mountain, whatever the core message is. Okay? Then you have to be like a Marwadi. Start reducing words like crazy, any extra word, any extra letter. Okay? Remove words like utilize, use simple words. Usually short sentence here and there, a long sentence. Okay? Now, there are some C's. One of them is the core message. If the audience tell the presenter was all over the map, it was confusing. That means the core message is not there. It is, you will check if every single sentence must be connected to the core message. So there are three things in a speech. One is the core is the content which should be 100% should be there. The next outer layer, it may or may not be there. The outermost, it should not be there. 3 things, that's all. Getting it now. So first edit for focus. That is the core. Every sentence, every story, is it connected to your central message? Your central message. The central message is start climbing mountains, not donate a blood. Now, next is edit for clarity. That is, the talk was interesting, but I didn't understand some point. Why does this happen? Because the structure of the speech is bad. The transitions are bad. The logical flow is not there. You're just jumping from place to place. The structure. There are some 7, 8, 10 structures you can follow. One simple structure is tell the audience what you want to tell them, and tell them what you have told them. Simple structure. AD, attention, interest, desire, action. Spatial, logical, geographical. So many ways of structuring a speech. If you want clarity, the structure should be there. It has to follow some structure. It can't just float in the air. Got it? Then edit for conciseness. Avoid falling in love with any component of your speech. Deep, just chop. Okay? He just went on and on. If the audience says something is wrong. When is perfection achieved? Not when there's nothing more to add, but there is nothing left to take away from a speech. If you give me a speech, now I'll take half of it away. And it comes with practice. It's not you have to keep practicing. You should spend sleepless night. My international speech where I won the Good Samaritan in Miami, 100 versions I have. Not editions, 100 versions. Each is very good. You shouldn't be sleeping. You should be addicted. You should be obsessed. Then you'll get a good speech. Okay? And then edit for continuity. Continuity means transitions between speech to speech.
Sir, sorry to interrupt here. I don't know if you intend to share your screen, but we can't see anything else.
I'm not sharing a screen.
Okay.
I don't want you to know all my secrets. I just stopped it. Okay. So this is in general to summarize the 7 steps. What are the first step? Who can tell me the first step?
Topic selection.
Yeah, topic selection.
Topic selection.
Yeah, second step.
Purpose.
Purpose, beautiful. Purpose. What are the different purposes which we have?
Inform, general and specific.
Becoming a fish market, we'll allow Mira Rao to talk.
General and specific.
Okay, general and specific. Could you give me a specific statement of your speech?
Hold my hand.
Who would like to give a specific? Cyrus, give the specific statement of your speech. Specific purpose of your speech. At the end of the speech, What is your specific statement? One sentence you'll tell me. That's a nucleus of your speech. Chitra, would you like to give?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
The specific purpose that I have is learn to embrace randomness.
Learn to embrace randomness. Brilliant. So when you are editing your speech, see that every story, every sentence, every word, everything should. If it does not support that central message, just throw it away.
Okay.
Cut it out.
Okay.
Everything should. And in a sentence, look, oh, this word is not important, throw it down. You can remove this word. If a sentence can survive with less number of words, like Rohan said, do it.
Okay.
You have to become a Shylock. Reduce. Less number of words. Okay?
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Ashwini here. You have written an 800, 900 word speech, but then you are asking us to cut it down to something like 700 on an average, say 100 words per minute. I have been told I'm a very fast speaker and told to reduce many times. So with our, different speeds, how do we limit the number of words there? Or is there an ideal speed as well?
Very, very good question. See, when I started my speaking career in Toastmasters, 1,200 words in 7 minutes I could speak. That was my speed. And it was clear. The clarity was there, enunciation, pronunciation was there. But the effect was not there. So what I do, for me, I cannot speak more than 700 words. You know why? I need a lot of pauses to drive home the point. And even if you're a fast speaker, vary the rate of your delivery, depending on the emotions and action in the speech. That's a talent you have to find. If he's running, you should run in the speech, in your words also. He ran and then he stopped. Why did he stop? I don't know why he stopped. It's up to you. I'm a fast speaker, but I keep varying the pace depending on the emotions and the storyline. So that way, it comes with practice. You can reduce that. Got it, Ashwini? It comes with practice. But I tell you, don't have more than 750 words. You will be forced to slow down because a 7-minute speech will be finishing in 5. Then you'll slowly stretch to 5.5 to 6 because you'll be filling with pauses. You'll vary the rate of delivery, and then you'll have a great speech.
Sir, I have a same similar question on the same this thing. When we want to reduce the speech content and we want to slow down, whether there is a chance that because of the long pause that will disconnect the audience, is there any possibility that if we don't use that pause effectively, there is a chance that we'll disconnect?
Tell me why do you use a pause first? What is the purpose of a pause? Tell me. Let's start from the fundamentals.
But I feel we want to give importance, just give audience to think about that point.
Now, reason number 1 is for reflection. You want the audience to think about what you have just said. Yes, Rohit, what's the second reason?
Yeah.
What's the second reason, Manoj? Praveen Kumar Desai. She says you want the audience to think about what is being said. Anybody?
Pursue.
Yes, sir, Milinsa.
Give an impact to a particular word, one single word or something.
Impact to a particular. Shut up. Maybe impact to a particular word. Yes. Who else? Pause is the most powerful element and a secret in public speaking, which people do not know how to use it properly. There are 20 different kind of pauses you can use, not 1 or 2. It's one of the most fundamental things. It's very important to pause at the right moment. It allows the audience to reflect. It allows you to change the pace of your speech. It prepares the audience to think what's coming next. There are so many reasons you can do, but pause is very important. And how to pause, when to pause, it depends upon your storyline, where you want to do. Isn't that right? It was a very emotional moment in my life. I thought that was the last day I would see him. Yet, 6 months down the line, he came back. Wow, what a surprise. It was amazing. It was fascinating. It was joyous. You can use your pause in any number of ways you want, depending upon the emotion of your speech. It's a very powerful element. As public speakers, learn this, very important. And pause also becomes a transition sometimes. It drives the point. It gives so much of impact. It makes the audience, it's like driving a nail over and over again. It has to be done. Yeah. We'll open the sessions for questions now. Okay. Let's go to the 7 steps quickly. First step is the topic. Second step is what is it? Chitra, second step?
Purpose.
Yeah. Then the third step?
Theme.
Theme? Theme, is it theme? Yeah. Is the third step the theme?
Yes.
Theme.
Okay. Fourth one?
What is in it for me?
Brilliant. What is in it for me? Bhavani, what are we talking about? What is in it for me means?
Audience needs.
Audience needs. Yeah, audience-centric speech. So what's the fifth step?
Topic plus purpose plus theme.
Yeah, which is equal to the audience.
Outline.
Yeah. Outline. You have to have an outline, not the entire speech. You don't have to have the opening. You don't have to have the closing. Okay, there's an opening over here. That's my preamble. I may have a closing. What is my body of the speech here? Point 1, point 2, point 3. It doesn't have to be connected. They don't have to be transitions. You don't have to write an entire speech. It can be in bullet points. It can be in sentences. But you have to write something. Okay, then you can start joining them. Lot of iterations will happen 10, 20, 30 times. Then you get a masterpiece. You get a masterpiece only then. You can't write 3, 4 times and then only you become right. I can produce articles and blogs just like this. Every Wednesday, Saturday, I produce great articles because I learned to write through Toastmasters. It didn't come overnight. It didn't come right. I write for international magazines. It didn't come overnight. You have to keep writing. Yeah. What's the next step? After outline.
Outline.
Yeah. Open. Then after that.
First draft.
First draft doesn't have to be perfect. We told you about it. Then after that?
Editing.
Editing. You have macro editing, macro. What are the main points, Manoj, in editing? What should you look at?
Macro and micro and everything getting connected to the central point.
Everything should get connected to every story, everything should get connected to the point. And when you cannot add anything, you cannot take away anything from a speech, then it becomes a perfect speech. Every single
clarity and structure.
Clarity is structure, absolutely, sir. Radhakrishnan said clarity is structure. Conciseness is brevity. Yeah. Oh, so these are all the things. And some of the general tips, I'll give you quick general tips, then we'll open for the question answer. One of the things is, please start early. Start early. Set a deadline. And when you want to write a speech, first thing, what do you do, Cyrus, when you want to write a speech? I'll ask Praveen, what do you do when you write a speech? Write a speech, no. Bhavani.
Not writing key points.
No. First, when you want to write a speech, don't write the speech. Don't touch your pen. Biggest mistake everybody makes.
Some idea, sir, to conceive in mind.
Think, research, brainstorm, then touch your pen. When you're sleeping, when you're in the bathroom, when you're singing, when you're in the pub, when you're dancing, when you put the music, the speech must be telling you, come on, I want to speak. Every word, every sentence. Midnight, you should wake up. I have a paper and pencil. Oh my God, that character is not fitting. This dialogue is not good. That word should be removed. That quote should be there. Your bed should be spread with books and quotes everywhere. Think, research, brainstorm, eat everybody's head, then touch your pen. That's how you write a speech. That's the number tip. When you write a speech, write like you talk. Don't write sermons, poems, and great language. How I'm talking to you, write like you talk. It should be conversation language. Forget about grammar. I mean, it can be in conversation English. You can put a pause, grammar, full stop, wherever you want. That's how it is understood. It's not a story to write. It's not a novel. If you look at great speakers, there'll be breaks here and there. There may be no commas. So look at, then simplify. Keep it very, very simple. Don't go for complicated speech. Simple things like walking on the road with a dog. It's a very good speech. Something you saw in the airport. A boy running 7 kilometers early in the morning to have a cup of tea. Those are the stories which win. Read, rewrite, repeat, and then again rewrite. Okay? Then rhetoric element. This is something which I don't see people using. Triads, stats, anaphase. So many things that I saw, I conquered. Lot of things are pretty pink plum. Use triads and dyads when it's relevant, not for the sake of using. And what is your practicing methods? So understand this. And now I'm opening the session to 5 minutes or I don't know how much time I have, but 5 minutes I'll answer questions. Yes, Melinsa.
The one point they keep on harping, forget your speech. You have to go into the skin of the speech. You have to feel that experience. If you feel, the audience will feel. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So how do I have that feeling of I'm feeling the pain or agony or ecstasy. Or
Yes,
whatever.
this happens to every speech I have done. No? For example, I've given a speech about AIDS victim, 7-minute speech. I've gone to the AIDS center. I've spent months over there. I've carried the children when nobody would touch children. I've raised funds for them. I've seen their suffering. I feel no. I want to share what I want to feel. I'm not writing a speech. I have a message for you, Milind, sir. It's not about me. It's for the suffering over there. Don't write speech for Toastmasters, manuals, pathways, and for triple crowns. Let that be. VP Education wants targets. Okay, the district governor wants points. The president of Toastmasters International wants points. So you should write a speech, is it? Go on, why have you joined Toastmasters? You cannot get that feeling unless you have passion and conviction for what you want to share. You can't pick up an idea from Google. It will not work out. Yeah. Yes, I'll talk to Manisha. I'll come to Manisha.
Yeah, good evening, sir. This is Manisha here. Apologies.
Manisha, can I see some live faces, Manisha? Unless.
Okay, I'm actually at the gym, so that is why.
That's even better. You're motivating us. Come on, tell me.
Okay, so I wanted to know, there is something I always struggle with when I write my speech, that is painting a picture. I'm often told to exaggerate or to paint a picture in the audience's mind. Like even if it's like a simple scenario of me walking into a store, my mentor always tells me to paint a picture, but that's something I always struggle with. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, we don't have to exaggerate, but we have the purpose of creating a vivid image is to transport your audience to the site of your speech. For example, I'll give you a location. I was driving down the roads of Bangalore along with my wife. And in the distance, I saw a huge crowd. I jumped out of the car and ran towards the crowd. I pushed my way through the crowd. And I saw a man lying in a pool of red clotted blood. Is that important? Am I exaggerating?
No, but
yeah. So you have to use the 5 senses, smell, touch. Okay? Don't say I lifted a cup of coffee. Describe the color of the coffee, the smell of the coffee. The person, all the character storytelling is a different art. There are a lot of elements. The settings are very important. The characterization is important. How he looks. How does he look? How does he feel? What is his character? His face color. Don't do it for the sake of doing. Don't become like a Wilbur. I think it's a Wilbur Wright or whatever that author. Too much of description. What is relevant for the story for the same character? It's important. You have to bring vivid images which is relevant. In the beginning, it's okay to go excess, and then you will come down. Yeah.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Yeah, Ramya, come on.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I would like to ask you 2 questions. One is whether the accent of the speaker influence in international speech contest, and the second is whether you have to go with the same speech all over the way in the area level or next. Should we change the topics and the speeches or not?
Yeah, for the first question answer, the accent and all does not count. As long as you are clear, the clarity, pronunciation, and I understand it, it's okay. Because the judges are all from the world and speakers of one are from China to India to Pakistan, everywhere people will. So don't worry about the accent. The second part is, right now I do not know the rules, but up to the district level, keep one winning speech, which is your coup de grace. One speech, like Vanita said, which will change the whole world. That's it. And then at the championship level, you will have different, maybe you need 2 more speeches. You can check out on the rules. Yeah. Let's talk to Balaji. I think we haven't spoken to him. Balaji, who else?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So my question is, now in Toastmasters, we should refrain from topics around politics and religion. Now, what if the message has something around world politics, sir? Like maybe the war situation. Is it still considered politics that needs to be avoided?
No. See, this is a confusion which has been there for a long time. When I say politics, no, I can talk about the Ukraine war, I can talk about Russia, I can talk about the world political system. I should not talk in support of a political party. That's what it means.
Right. So we could go ahead with some facts, no, sir?
Yeah. So when you can talk about, I can say, no, Hinduism is a way of life. It's got a rich tradition. But I can't say Hinduism better than Mohammedanism. I can't do that. That's the way it is. That's all.
Oh, sweet. I think
I can talk an entire speech in Hinduism, but I should not talk against other party. That's all. Simple.
Superb, sir.
Any religion we can talk. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Nikesh.
Yes, sir. My question, the first one was, many times the speech becomes more, it's like a stage drama or so. How do you distinguish your speech from doing that? And second is, or maybe I can ask the second question once you answer the first one.
See, the first thing, you have to be yourself. Please do not copy anybody's style. See, there is something called the speaking styles of the superstars. Can you compare a Gandhi with a Martin Luther King? Both of them will, if they copy each other, they're gone. So you maintain your style. When you start believing yourself and be who you are, it will not be exaggerated drama. It will not be. Unless you're a very extrovert and outspoken person, you have to reduce a little and little calm down or reduce your speed of thing, whatever your actions and dramatic things. Otherwise, be who you are, it will suit you. Don't copy anybody's style. Along the way, if you pick up certain nuances, it is okay. Got to know. Yeah.
And second was, what if you realize during your speech that you are losing on it? How do you recover in such situation?
But how do you feel you're losing out? Tell me.
Let's say you had prepared some speech and halfway through you realize that speech is not going the way you had imagined. Now, how do you improvise, or should you stick to the plan what you had initially?
See, you're on a prepared speech. You have a central message. The problem starts right from the beginning when you don't have a strong message to give. You don't have conviction about your own thing. Even if I'm a beggar, if I have conviction about begging, I won't stop my speech in the middle. I'll tell you how to beg properly. I'm okay with that. You understand? Don't stop your speech. First of all, decide whether you have conviction about your topic. That's important. If you have that, don't worry about anything else. But you will fail. It may happen. But get through with your speech. Don't start thinking my speech, look at the audience faces and all. Don't worry about that. You can do this adaptation and changing in a workshop, not in an international speech competition. Can't do that. Yeah, Ashwini. Maybe a couple of last questions. Yeah, Ashwini. How much time do you have? Yeah, Ashwini.
Yeah. So in the effort to have newer things added or a speech to be delivered in a different way, I thought we could speak about different situations and scenarios or experiences in the speech and bring out in the conclusion the theme of the speech. But as you said, the theme has to be reiterated throughout the speech. Does this also work?
No, what I'm telling you, Ashwini, is in the beginning of your speaking career, please stick to fundamentals. Don't do experimentations. Okay. Once you finish your 10th standard, then you can do a PhD. It's better to stick to fundamentals of public speech. I stick to fundamentals now also. Then you become creative. Because if the purpose of creativity is to bring attention to win the competition, don't do that. Right. Just stick to the fundamentals, the structure, fundamentals. Very important. Yeah. Namita. I think, how long do we have, ma'am? Vanita?
Sir, my question is whether when we are writing a speech or when we are practicing, whether we should consider only audience need or there is bringing criteria, like when it is coming to especially a competition, so we need to know how we are getting marked, like we have to find all the marking criteria or we have to just write only the story for the audience?
No, there is a three. One is the skill sets and knowledge to win a speech competition. You have to be thorough with the judging criteria. Bullet points, 40 points, 30 points. You should know in and out. That is the skills you have to develop. The skills are very important, but that does not take away from giving the audience a good message. I have a great message, but I don't have delivery skills, you will not win. I have good delivery skills, I don't have a good speech structure, you will not win. Everything is there.
So it is a combination of both.
It's a combination, but you should have a universal message in international speech competition.
Okay. Sir, one more question also. Every speech, does it necessary to have some humor?
No, not necessary. But it may add value. But humor should not be hanging somewhere. It should support the speech somewhere.
Okay.
I have a very basic question. I'm sorry if I missed out on that, but I just want to get it out of my system. When you spoke about purpose, you used the acronym FAT and I couldn't get it. I don't know whether I missed out on that.
No, we'll give it to you again, ma'am. No problem. Only for Arjun I charge. He's still giving me a treat. if he's around. Okay, so the fact is, in the fact that A is the middle. It's an acronym. A means the action you want from the audience, the final action. The first thing you made to do is to make the audience think, reflect about your purpose, what you want them to do. And then finally you make them emotion. Without emotion, there won't be any action. I want the audience to think that every day, every 30 seconds, 6 children are dying due to starvation. I want them to feel that this is a crime against humanity. I want everybody to stop wasting food the next time they go to a wedding. Now, this is the fact. But the central message will come in only one sentence. I want the audience to stop wasting food. But build around that is that. Yeah. Got it, ma'am? You got it?
I still didn't. Because
The formula is A is the action you want the audience to do. A. That's the middle of the fact. F is on top, A is the middle, T is the middle.
so what is that F and T? What are those F and T?
T is to thinking. You make the audience think. What do you want them to think? I want them to think that every 30 seconds, 6 children are dying. I put the thought in the mind. I want them to feel it's a crime against children. And I want them to stop wasting food the next time they go to a wedding. These are 3 things.
So what is F now?
F is the feeling, no? F, emotion.
So feeling, action, and thought.
The end result is action. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And
Yes,
sorry
if you don't have any questions, all done. I think I want one question from Anita. Then we'll close. I'm just kidding. You're on mute, I think, sir.
Yes, I am here. I don't have a question except to ask, how are you so awesome? That's a valid question, right?
Something. I've been having a severe neck pain, but it's still going on because of the passion I want to connect. You have called, and I can see some awesome faces, the interest. I'm very passionate about sharing information, but I'm disappointed Sherry Thomas is not asked a single question.
I have a question.
Thank you so much. I know Miss Beautiful Faces.
Actually, is it mandatory to use the 7 minutes, or can we stop in 6 minutes?
Stop. I think the mandate is 5 minutes. No, Manita, what's the mandate? 5 minutes, no?
4 minutes 30 seconds.
4 minutes 30 seconds. One international world champion won it in 4 minutes 34 seconds. There's nothing.
Yeah, 4 minutes 30 seconds. So yeah, right, sir.
Yeah, so 4 minutes 35 seconds, less than 5 minutes. I think one guy won. Some world champion won. Some Chinese guy. It's not mandatory, but I think you can use. Unless it's a phenomenal speech, no, you can use your 7 minutes. You have more time to share. But it's not a rule, not necessary that you have to do it.
And one more question, like it's about the topic selection. My speech topic was about my friend who overcome an accident. So it was a kind of a tragical story. So I got a comment that we have to give positive stories. Like it was a sad story, but at the end she overcame that thing. So there was a positive thing at the end. So what do you think about that topic?
What you're doing is that there's nothing like that. Ultimately, there's something to carry away from there. What is in it for me is that it can end on a tragedy also, but is there a lesson learned? It can end in anything, but is there a lesson learned? That's all. My Good Samaritan speech, which won in the year 2000, it had a tragic end only, but it had a very powerful story, powerful message.
Okay. And in the starting, in the intro part, I was describing her, like her hair, her looks, her extracurricular activities like dancing, singing, painting. But the story was an accident. Do you think I had to describe her facial features and her talents?
Describe her because we as an audience need to know her, no? We have to see her, no? We have to discuss the character, no? How do I know her? I'm not talking to a robo, no. Bring life to the character. Give joy, life, color. What kind of person she was. What she liked, how she looked. The dress, color, everything is needed. Yeah. Yes, I think all questions are closed. Yes, we are through. Yes. Yeah, Royal. Yeah, tell me. Royal, and last 2 questions, Royal and Radhakrishnan.
Yeah. Asking out of curiosity, because topic selection is one of the most challenging part in the speech. I was wondering, if you were given an opportunity to give a speech in the Toastmaster International Finals, what topic would you give a speech about?
See, this is you can't take a topic and then start talking. When I say topic, it's an experience. It's an experience. It's not just a topic, it's an experience. Something which is there a conflict in your life which you have solved? Is something which has hurt you very badly and you overcome it? Is something always telling your mind, this is wrong. I need to find a solution. Is there something you want to share with the world? It can be any incident, anything in the airport, anywhere it can happen. That's important. It's not a topic.
Okay.
It's an experience. It's a way of life. That's what important. Yes, Radha, bring this.
Yeah, how do we build a rapport with an audience?
Okay, this is a brilliant question. See, first of the thing, when you build a rapport, when you come right, I'm talking about live audience or online, when you come, your energy levels are very important. It may not speak, your vibrations, your energy level, your preparation, and then the wanting to say, I have something to share with you. I'm here for you. That internally controlled message, I have something to share. I want to change your life. It's not about me, it's about you. It's the first. The audience will not even, the vibrations go out. If you believe in vibrations, energies, they will feel that you are there, one among them. And then when you come on, stand on stage, the first few seconds of silence, a smile, the opening sentence hits with a bang, then it'll happen. The first few seconds are very important, like a newborn baby. It's calling for attention, and you have to do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful answers.
Thank you very much, and I had a fantastic time. Back to the MC.